Okay, guys, I've downloaded the Caterpillar stock box, and I'm going to go ahead and start assembling that. I'm going to start by putting this, what I call the crankshaft assembly. It goes through this hole and that hole on each side of the box for the automata, and that way you can spin it. So I'm going to go ahead and start assembling. I'm going to do a joint. I want to make, whoops, I want to do a revolute joint because I want it to revolve. I put it back to position here, and then I like to choose, it gets close, I'm going to choose that right there, that circle, and that right there. I'm going to go ahead and I hit OK, and it'll be a little bit off kilter, so it's in there, but it needs to be slid over or transformed in that direction by, I believe, 0.55 inches. I'm going to go right click on the joint I just did and go to the front view and start dragging out, and you can see, yeah, at 0.5 it's too close. If I slip in a little bit at 0.6 is a little bit too big, so I actually like to make that 0.55, and I'm going to hit OK. And now what we're looking at is I have a little bit of space here and a little bit of space here. That'll keep friction from getting in my way and allow it to slide freely. You can see that now this will go ahead and revolve comfortably in there, and that's the only direction. That's its only degree of freedom. Now I'm going to go ahead and place this offset cam onto that crankshaft. I'm going to do that by doing a joint. Now this I want to be a rigid joint, so I'm going to change that to rigid. I don't want it to move. And I'm going to take this, which really you can grab any of these circles, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to place that onto that. And where it snaps to doesn't really matter. I'm going to go up to my navigation cube and turn it, and I'm going to slide that over. Oh, pretty close, but I'm not going to have it quite touch that. That's fine there. It has a little bit of clearance there, which I want to have. I'm going to hit OK. All right, now, so I have one in there. I now want a bundle of them in there to make a caterpillar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close that here, and I'm going to come over here on the right side. I'm going to click that eyeball so you can see that that makes it pretty easy. Now I'm going to create a pattern of that. It's going to be a rectangular pattern. I'll revert position. That gets me back to a true 90. Object type, I want that to be on components. Object, I want that to be my object. Axis, I want any axis. I could use this line, not that line, doesn't matter. I want anything running that way so that I can go this way. And then I'm going to, it usually defaults to extent. I'm going to change that to spacing, and I'm going to space them. This is 3/8 of an inch, and I'm going to leave a 1/8 inch gap. So I'm going to space them. The distance is going to be negative 0.5. And we'll come over here and take a look from the front so you can see. So that gives me a nice little gap. And then I'm going to go ahead and add as many as I can to see. I believe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. All right, now what's important to notice here, and I'm going to go ahead and turn off the vision to the top also so I really can see. So this first one is locked on there and moving. I'll hit Control Z to get back to the original position. But what I don't have now is these are not connected at all. In fact, I can just pull that out and move it. I'll hit Control Z to move it back exactly. So my next step is going to be to lock these on here, but I want to lock them on in a fashion that they are tilted slightly. So if I have 8 of these and I wanted the 8th one to be back at 0 or 360 and I were going to do equal divisions of a circle, I'd have a little more than 50 degrees. Specifically, I'd have 360 divided by 7 because they're going to be 7 7 pieces of pie to that 360 degree pie. So here's my technique to do that. So I'm starting off here where this is. I'm going to turn off the vision of my first cam. That's offset 1, and that's locked on already. I'm now going to come up here and go to assemble. I'm going to do a joint. This wants to be a rigid joint. And then I'm going to choose um, that circle and that plane, or that rod. Now, it's still asking me for one more thing, and that is where does it go? So you'll see that when I click on that, it goes back. I'm going to move it back forward to that. That's the half inch to that one, which is the third one. And if I come all the way to an inch, that gives me my spacing. So that is where I want it to be. Okay. Now I'm going to rotate it a little bit this way and then take a look at this. So that is 90 degrees. I'm going to rotate this. Well, if I start going this way, I can get that. So it starts off at 90 and it's kind of snapping to it. I'm going to hit 90 degrees plus 360 backslash 7. And what that just did was that just shifted it about 50 degrees in that direction. And I'm going to hit OK. All right, so now that's locked on. If I turn back on the vision of the first one, you can see, okay, so that's going there. And now this is what I want this to look like. Okay, I'm going to hit Control Z so I go back to my original spot. So now I'm going to go to turn off the vision of the first one and now the second one, which is locked rigid. And I'm going to go to the third one. I'm going to go to Joint. It's not going to change. It will stay as the last one that you did, and I'm doing rigid joints now. I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to get that circle there, this one, and place it there. Okay. I'm going to come here, and I'm going to slide that one forward half an inch so it maintains consistent gap. I'm going to come, let's see, I'll just hit the home isometric. All right, so that is 90 degrees. And that's going to be, okay, so it's going to be that 90. I want to do it 2 pieces of pie. So it's going to be 90 plus 2 times 360 divided by 7. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And then again, I'll check to make sure that I got a pattern forming here. And sure enough, I do. There's the first one, and the second one, and the third one, and it's going to go all the way around. I'm going to end up with all 8 of them. The 8th one will actually be back to where this one is. So continuing on, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the vision on the 1, on the 2, and on the 3, and I'm going to do the 4th one. That's going to be rotated at 3 times my piece of pie equal to 360 divided by 7. So I'm going to assemble, joint. I'm going to choose this and this and this, and then hit. Did that one not move? Yeah, that one was in the right place. I must have hit the magic. Don't want to hit OK yet. So this is going to move, okay, that's going to move 90 plus 3 times, and notice I'm using the star, Shift 8, 360 divided by 7. And then I'll hit OK. And just for the satisfaction of looking, you can start to see that they are indeed, ooh, what a lovely pattern this is going to be. All cracking and just get going here. So next one, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to turn off the vision on 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to do the fifth one. Assemble, joint, rigid. I'm going to come in here and choose that one and that one and that one. And then, all right. Oh, I'll have to move that a half-inch back to get my spacing good. And then I'll rotate this. It's going to be 90 degrees plus 4 times 360 divided by 7. Boom. And then this next one, let's see, I'll turn off the vision to that. And then assemble, joint. I'm checking my work. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. All right, so that one was 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, next one's going to be 5. All right. Assemble joint. All right. Let's see, it'll be 1 inch. All right. And then this will be plus 5 times 360 divided by 7. And boom. And then next one will be 6. Let's see, joint. And boom, boom, boom. And I'll move that back. 1, 2. That one. Oops, I moved that way forward. The good news, it snaps to it. So this will be good. That'll be 90 plus 6 times 360 divided by 7. It's almost back around. And let's see. Let's see, is that right? Yeah. Ooh, so you can start to see what's going to happen, except for it won't be going around in a circle. It'll just be translating up. I'm going to move that back to the original. And then the last one, 7 times 360 divided by 7 is just an as-built joint. So my last one will be assemble as-built that. And let me see if I can grab. A little tough to get in there and squeeze. There we go. Boom. Hit OK. All right. So now this will go dancing around in there, and then I'm going to work on the followers in the next video. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and make a caterpillar real quick in the next video. So that is assembling the cams. It doesn't look like I have any interference. I'll turn on the right side, the top here, go to the front, and yeah, I have no interference. As I go top to bottom, that's going to perform well. So in real life, we're just going to glue all these cams right onto that shaft.